right. Hey guys. All right. So Scorpios, welcome back to Kate's Regretless Life. Thanks so much for joining me. So I'm jumping into a reading where it's just going to be kind of a quicker one. I just want to know, what is the conversation that either hasn't happened yet or didn't happen? So I'm going to start out by asking, what is this person thinking, feeling about Scorpio? Let's see. Scorpio, we begin with King of Pentacles in the reverse and the 10 of Pentacles in the upright. So the way they're thinking about this person is, I feel like, I think they think you don't want anything from them. Like, I know you don't see me as stable, yet I see you as my 10 of Pentacles. This could be somebody who thinks you're pretty much done with them. Could be an earth energy that you have dealt with, Scorpio, but it looks like they know that you see them as either someone stubborn, somebody who didn't give to a connection, somebody who wasn't stable. And yet, it's as if there is this, it's either that or they know that you are their long-term happiness, even though they have not given to this. And they know exactly what you want also. You want a heritage, a legacy. You want to, maybe it's really important to you that you build a strong family foundation and that you create in this case, it's like a mansion, but you want to grow this huge family home. You want to make a place so that you have a whole lineage of ancestors, the kids, the dog, the family, all of it, a place where, multiple generations of family can come there and have space. You may be very family oriented. And all of this is something where we talk about growing old together after, creating a strong foundation. This person actually does see this with you, yet they didn't act that way. They know that this is what you want, yet they possibly also know that you don't see them as that potential outcome. So interesting. So obviously, maybe we had some kind of wobbly energy here. Somebody didn't put in time when they should have, maybe. Let's see. Okay, so what is the conversation that they either haven't had or didn't say? This whole stack of cards came out, but they really came out in a clump, and I don't like to take clumps. I feel like that gets too jumbled. I want it more like one card at a time or just a couple at a time, but not like 10 that all come out without a proper shuffle. So they're all going back in. Yeah. They want to do it all over again. So the conversation that hasn't happened yet is somebody is saying, dang, I messed this one up bad. And I know it. And I'm trying to figure out how do I fix this? This is like the conversation that hasn't happened is somebody has not come in yet to say, I want this to be undone. I want the damage undone. Wow. Okay, so did this person hold back or what? It seems like this person is feeling a huge amount of lack. So this card, they're quite miserable. They're in a lot of regret. They're not abundant right now. They don't have even the financial stability that they thought they were going to have. They don't have, you notice, I was looking at this card in the upright, but it actually came out in the reverse, because I was curious about the bird here. The bird has blinders on, so it can't send a message either. It's like a carrier. Well, actually, I guess it's more of like a falcon, but instead of somebody feeling really abundant and feeling like they're able to communicate, because it's 9 of Pentacles, we've actually got somebody instead who they don't know how to say anything. Like, if they weren't stable and didn't build, it wasn't because they didn't want to. It was because they didn't have a strong foundation under their own 2 feet. This person is really struggling with explaining that. There's a lot of heartbreak for the current conditions. This person has deep regret for not putting effort in, for maybe not explaining this. They might have been defensive. They might have felt like, love was a battle all the time. So they fought you instead of explaining to you what was going on with them. They didn't have abundance. And that's the part that I think somebody didn't explain. A lot of this seems to be about abundance, like having a stable foundation under one's feet from which to then grow and blossom. I feel like you met somebody maybe at a time when their life was actually kind of on unsteady ground and they didn't tell you that. So you didn't know. And then they failed to put energy in, yet they see you as the person that they would want to have all this with. And yet that is also the thing that they didn't explain. For you, it might have been very confusing. For them, this has been very sad. There is a heartbreak here, but I feel like it's a heartbreak, especially because they still have all this passion here. Ace of Wands. Okay, this person may be building up that fire to actually still say what they have to say. This person could also feel a certain amount of frustration and anger, maybe toward themselves, for letting this thing fall apart and crumble. I feel like it was a lack of investment in a condition or in a situation, but this lack of investment was because they didn't have a solid foundation for themselves and they didn't explain that. So this is the conversation that didn't happen. They didn't explain the things that they needed to at the time that they needed to. So instead, everything fell apart. Ooh, but this person seems to be dusting themselves off. This person has a lot of passion still. They want to come back in. It is a little bit of, but have caution, because this is still somebody coming in as a Knight of Wands. This person is like, this could be that drunk dial. This could be the conversation that you get that somebody texts you, like pours out their heart, says all kinds of things, and you're like, what the heck is this? Because part of it is maybe not even going to make sense because it's clippets of information that are disjointed. It's everything, it's like, well, okay, I'll give you the example of like the drunk call interpreted through Kate. You think I don't want anything. You think I don't have what it takes to really give to a situation, but I want a mansion. And you're like, what? I want a mansion. Yeah, I want an old beard and a mansion. Okay, wait, what are you saying here? They're saying that I want to be with you, but you don't think that I have long-term goals. Okay? I've been struggling. I've been really upset. I've been really struggling, and you don't know how hard I work. And okay, what does that mean? I don't want to tell you everything. Well, all I know right now is that you're telling me you want a mansion and a white beard and you work really hard, and I don't tell you everything. None of this is translating very well, right? This is what I mean when I say this could be a weird rush of information that's disjointed and a little like, what the heck is this person trying to say? And then they start to cry. Like, this is the drunk dial that then somebody starts to cry, and and I'm all by myself now, and you hurt my feelings so bad because you don't even care how sad I am. And it's like, wait a minute. You're the one who didn't give to the connection. Why are you drunk dialing me, telling me how sad you are? Why are you crying at me? I'm the one who got hurt because you didn't give me your time and attention. No, that's not true, they say. That's not true. I want you so much. Can I come over right now? That's how, to me, that's how this whole thing plays out. If I were to enact the storyline that I see here, that is the storyline that I see here. It's disjointed, difficult to understand what somebody is trying to say. Basically, if we strung it together and recreated it in a coherent sentence, it would be, I didn't have a good solid foundation, so I held back in the connection, and I'm really sad that I did that because I think about you all the time, and I really, right now, more than anything, I just want your arms around me. Like, that's the simplified version. But I feel like it could come out in a very jumbly little mess, especially if it's like a drunk dial. I don't know. I've never told a story from a drunk dial interpretation before. So I don't know if that'll make sense to anybody, but we've got, oh my God, the Tower in the reverse and the High Priestess in the reverse. This is the part of the other half of the conversation where I think you already understand all this. You understand what this person is trying to say in their very choppy, very messy, very slobbery way. I don't want this to be over. And you're like, yes, I know. And I know that too. This is probably the biggest portion of this whole reading. Because we are ending with the only two major arcana that we have, right? This is the only place that we see the big messages. So the big message for this reading is, I don't want this to be over. And you're responding with, I know. I kind of feel as if you already knew that this drunk dial was going to happen. Interesting kind of interpretation for me, as you know, to be able to piece this storyline together, because I can't help but say, you are saying to them, yes, I know you don't. I didn't either, but I don't know why it had to shake out this way. Why couldn't you just tell me these things sober? So I feel like this is a reading where it's like, listen with your heart, not with your ears, because whatever, I'm not saying that if somebody does this, that this is appropriate or anything like that. That's not, I don't read stories so that then I can sit here and judge whether or not it's Kate's version of perfection or morality or anything like that, right? I only interpret whatever I see that pops out. But it looks very much to me like, because we end with the High Priestess, so Cancerian and Aries energy, we end with listen with your gut, your intuition, your heart, all of the pieces of yourself that hear what is authentic, and hear whether or not this person really means what they're saying. I don't want it to be over. Okay, but are they willing to then shift their behavior and start to open up and try to change things? Because that's what you're listening for, really, is like, yes, I knew that we weren't really done because neither one of us wants it to be done. But now let's address the things that need to change. Once everybody is, wide awake, it's not 2 a.m. and it's not a drunk text, it's not a drunk dial anymore. Now let's go ahead and talk gently and tenderly about like, hey, you don't want this over any more than I do, but we got to make changes. I don't want it to be over, but we do need to identify the things that we both have left unsaid, get that stuff cleared out, and then maybe see where we go from there. This is nice. It's a bit of like I'm going to say a second chance. I do still feel like this is all in the wee hours of the night. I feel like this is where you might have thought that this person was just like, whatever, they were messing around. They didn't ever put in energy, but there's a piece of you all along that was like, but I felt like they really cared. Why couldn't they tell me? And then when they do the drunk dial thing, it might really bring out the answers here and make you recognize, I was right all along. This is important to this person, even though they behaved in not the greatest of ways. I feel like this is a revelation for you that I factor in more in their life than what they have been able to admit. And it seems like this is all late night revelation, because on that High Priestess, we've got that owl flying and in mid-flight in the night. So it feels like this is all those late night revelations, right? When we can't sleep and then all of a sudden that message comes in, you're laying there thinking about them too, and then they start texting you. It's like, if that happens, hopefully it doesn't just devolve into some big, huge upset. Maybe it's like, I want to talk to you tomorrow morning when we're both sober, and let's be real. Let's actually meet for breakfast, okay? Let's not do the late night where it's all stress and anxiety. Let's calm the energy down and say, let's talk in the light of day. I want to talk to you too. Like, I don't want it over either. But right now, we can't really discuss things in the middle of the night and have like intelligible conversation. So let's wait until tomorrow. Meet me for lunch. Meet me whenever. Like, let's have a heart to heart. Like, this is really what it boils down to, is somebody wants a heart to heart, but they may do the drunk dial first. All right. Take care, guys. Bye.